Thank you very much, and good morning to all fellow South Africans, to people joining us for this day. South Africa as a country is gripped with many challenges. The greatest one that we face today is the fact that the cost of living for many people is going up. Citizens have lost work, they have no opportunity to fend for themselves, and what's even more difficult is the fact that in the next coming months, life is about to get hard. You know, last week I watched with great interest to the budget speech. One of the things that you realize when you work through the budget is that in part, administered costs are going up. Fuel is going up. And yet today, 15% has been requested by Eskom. Now the question becomes, why should the people of this country, the very poor South Africans, be paying an additional 15% for energy? It was a woman in Khayelitsha who expressed this to me. She said, "Yabona Mmusi Maimane, xa ndithenga umbane nge-R100, bendifumana 60 units, ngoku kuzaba worse." Meaning that when she buys electricity for R100, what she's getting will be less than that if this increase is allowed to go through. So therefore, fellow South Africans, we believe that following a High Court ruling granting Eskom permission to raise an additional 10 billion rands in tariffs just to keep the lights on, that this money will come from no one else. It will come from consumers. It will come from hardworking families and honest businesses struggling to make ends meet in a depressed economic environment. Therefore, while Eskom will ask the people of this country to pay 10 billion rands, our primary concern now is that we can reveal a web of interconnected facts and decisions taken which appear to indicate the following. Number one, Eskom has given the green light for a Gupta shelf company to claim as much as 100 million rands from the Optimum coal mine, a supplier of coal to Eskom. Number two, that potentially Eskom has indirectly given power to Gupta affiliates to cover their tracks from stealing billions of rands in inflated coal contracts. Fellow South Africans, the facts in this matter, when you read and you follow the business rescue process, collectively point to this particular context, to the conclusion that the Gupta influence in our energy sector is seeking ways to sneak itself back in at the expense of the people of this country. The 15% increase will end up being a corruption tax that our people are paying. Here are some key points of great concern for us. Firstly, the Optimum coal mine is currently in business rescue following the pillaging of the mine's resources and finances by the Guptas, leaving Eskom's coal supply in a very precarious position. The mine was run on a basis where profits were stripped out and little or no capital or maintenance expenditure took place. Since then, there have been attempts to liquidate as well as rescue Optimum by a number of key players. Here's where the matter becomes fascinating. Is that a company called Centaur Ventures, one of Optimum's primary creditors, had a questionable link with the Gupta family, which is now of public knowledge, being that Centaur was until recently 50% owned by Agesh Gaj, who was the bridegroom in the Gupta Sun City wedding in 2013. There now appears to be unconfirmed links between Centaur and the Guptas, including that the company was used to export as a conduit to launder the Gupta money out of South Africa via Bermuda. This despite Centaur having no experience in coal trading. It's now common cause that Centaur has been in a long legal battle to gain control over Optima. On the 24th of July in 2020, a Gupta-run company called Griffin Line General Trading that is based in Dubai was awarded a 100 million rand claim against Centre by the Bermuda Supreme Court. And for the purposes of this, we will attach the judgment that comes from Bermuda on this issue. On the 28th of September 2020, both Eskom and Centre voted to approve a business rescue plan for Optimum, which in effect gave Centre's executive power over Optimum via debt equity restructuring under a new company called Templar. So what you can then draw from looking at this scheme that is now occurring is that in fact Centre is now trying to cover its and perhaps the Gupta's previous sins by having a direct say in Optimum's operations. That the Guptas will claim that there are 100 million rands from Centre and their operation from Optimum, which will affect Eskom's operations. Number 3, Centre and the Guptas could extract further value from our energy as new tariffs are set to rise and ultimately raise an additional 10 billion rands, which is available for anybody to steal. All of these are potential eventualities. Fellow South Africans, I think, when state capture occurred, we didn't warn fast enough to say, let us stop the processes before they get to state capture. In this instance, through a business rescue process, we cannot allow the replundering of South Africa's energy resources. These red flags can never be ignored and can't be now. We've been down this road before, and we cannot allow any further cover-ups. I believe when we talk about power to the people, people must know what is going on in this process. Energy and the energy grid are fundamental to South Africa's economy and are fundamental to ensuring that ultimately no looting can occur. So on one SA, we are standing on behalf of the people and saying, we will not allow this to happen. We cannot allow any more funneling of money to the Guptas, or that ultimately, that again through another company, Optimum can still be owned through a Guptas. What is curious is why the vote took place in favor of this deal, which means that ultimately the South African government must be involved. So I'm putting together a number of interventions. The first is this: we will immediately write to the chair of Eskom's board to apply to reverse the decision to support the business rescue plan for Optimum that was agreed upon on the 28th of September, following which apply for the plan to be placed on hold. Secondly, to submit an application to Eskom in terms of PIA, or the Promotion of Access of Information Act, seeking to access the record of decision that led to voting in favor of the current business rescue plan. Thirdly, we're going to submit an application to Eskom in terms of the same act, seeking access to terms and conditions of their coal contract with Optimum Coal Mine, and in turn, Centre Ventures. Fourthly, we're going to write to the Minister of Public Enterprise, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, calling for him to institute an immediate forensic audit into Centre's operation from the 1st of January 2016 to the 31st of December 2018, including all export revenue and prepayments. This is actually very possible as the shipment is recorded by Richards Bay Coal Terminal Management. A record of every ton, every grade, every shipment, every quality and tonnage must be made available. A bill of lading for every ship gives the information. The coal price per grade and the exchange rate at the time of shipping can also be determined for every shipment over that period, and it can be reconciled. If a prepayment is made for coal, then the regulatory documents and forex clearances are also required. This will be necessary if Centre has made a significant prepayment as they claim. Every prepayment and every shipment requires a sign-off by the SARS customs. All of these documents must be made available for scrutiny. Fellow South Africans, I believe the information that we have put before you about how, in fact, control can be regained via the back door must raise an alarm to all of us. I say we stand on behalf of poor South Africans. You cannot, in this instance, support simply a 15% tariff, which when you put it into a municipality, municipalities have to recoup their costs by adding an additional 2%, which means for many citizens potentially, energy will go up by 17%, which will place a higher level of inflation upon our people, and more seriously, will have economic impact on micro enterprises, on business, on how effectively our economy, which is in need of recovery, needs to work. I'm asking that for Eskom to be paying such inflated prices for coal in the name of empowerment, which has been the modus operandi since at least 2006. The Guptas were not the first beneficiaries of such. However, we have a genuine duty to make sure that they are the last. People cannot pay. And this ANC government, and I say this, only one ANC government, not a faction. This ANC government is forcing hard-working South Africans to fork out more money for an already unstable electricity supply. The very least they can do is for government and its entity to take every precautionary measure to ensure that the money which was also stolen, which was stolen by unscrupulous characters, not only should that money be recuperated, but we should stop it so that no characters will steal further from the people of this country. I believe this is a moment for us to act. If we are going to reform this particular state-owned enterprise as Eskom, we must do our level best to make sure that in this business rescue proposal that has been put forward, that it be put on hold, that we do an assessment of what is going on here, and that no backdoor deals can ensure that a Gupta-linked company can continue to benefit. I want to thank you, and I will now hand over